The Phantastic Phillies were in the playoffs. Could they lick that terrible curse that had seemingly been cast upon them? Before Game 1, much was made of the fact that the Phillies had won only one postseason game in Philadelphia in their history. That was on October 8, 1915, when Grover Cleveland Alexander beat the Boston Red Sox 3-1 in the opener of the World Series. Now it was October 7, 1980, almost 65 years to the day. It was time to end that famine. Their opponent was the scrapping Houston Astros, who had won the National League West some 24 hours earlier in a divisional playoff game with the Los Angeles Dodgers. After an all-night flight from Los Angeles, the Astros figured to be a little weary for Game 1. However, it surely didn't appear that way. The pitching matchups pitted Ken Forsch against Steve Carlton. Lefty, a 24-game winner during the regular season, was shaky as he struggled to find his rhythm. The Astros nicked him for a run in the third, but it could have been more. But Carlton, being the competitor that he is, battled his way out of jam after jam. For that matter, all the Phillies were battling. History was not on their side. Finally, in the sixth, their efforts were rewarded.
3-2 pitch, swing and a long drive, there she goes, way out of here, home run, Greg Luzinski.
For the moment, it appeared as though the monkey was off their back, and in the seventh, the Phillies made it a 3-1 game.
Here is a little looper, shallow left field. It's dropping. It's in for a hit. Maddox scores. Phillies lead the ball game 3-1. Greg Gross drops a looping single into shallow left, and the Phillies have an insurance run.
Out of the bullpen came Tug McGraw for the final two innings, and he simply shut the door on Houston, and the Phillies had a 3-1 victory in the first game of this best-of-5 series. However, the Astros bounced back the next night to even the series at a game apiece with a 7-4 victory in 10 innings. Now the scene shifted to the spacious Astrodome in Houston, Texas. In Game 3, the Astros eked out a 1-0 victory in extra innings to take a 2-1 lead in the series. Suddenly, history was staring in the Phillies' faces again. Would they fail once more in postseason play? Game 4 of this series was one that will live in baseball history. Just about everything imaginable occurred in this game. In the fourth, with the game scoreless, the Astros pulled off what they thought was a triple play, but turned out to be a double play.
1-2 pitch, broken bat, one hopper to the pitcher. He throws to first. Out at first base is Gary Maddox. Broken bat, one hopper. Maddox is out. Now Houston arguing that they might. I don't know what the argument is.
That ball was the short hop, Harry.
That was the short hop.
I don't either. That was not. Vern Rule even doesn't think that he caught the ball. That was a short hop.
Maddox is out at first. Everybody else is safe. Wait a minute. What's Harvey ruling?
Wait a minute.
A triple play? No way. They're ruling a triple play. They're ruling the ball was caught on the fly, and it was not. They're ruling that ball was caught on the fly, and they're giving a triple play to Houston. I can't believe it.
But all that craziness aside, the Phillies were fighting for their lives. With the hourglass dwindling, the Phillies came to bat in the eighth and trailing 2-0.
Pitch on the way to Rose, bouncing ball right side. It has eyes, it goes through. Being waved around is the lead man, Gross. He's going to score. Play to third, not in time. Play to second, not in time. Runners second and third. Phillies trail the game 2-1. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball back the middle. It's gloved by Morgan. No throw. Everybody safe. Tie ball game. Ready to go. At the belt. The 1-2 pitch to Trio. Punch shot, right field being charged. And that ball is caught. The runners are tagging. Here's the throw to the plate. Rose scores.
But the Astros tied it up in the ninth, and this one was headed for extra innings. In the 10th, Pete Rose started things with a single. Then, with pinch hitter Greg Luzinski at bat, Astros catcher Bruce Bochy was about to find out what it's like to play against Pete Rose.
The 1-0 pitch. Driven to left field, hard hit ball down into the corner. That ball one hops against the fence. Here comes Pete Rose digging around third. He's going to keep right on going. Here's the play at the plate. He scores! He knocked Bochy over. The throw was there, but he knocked him over. Bochy didn't hold the ball, and the Phillies lead the game.
Manny Trio followed with another key hit that scored Luzinski, and the Phillies were on their way to tying up this series with a 5-3 victory. In In Game 5, the Phillies again found themselves on the short end of the score, entering the 8th inning trailing 5-2. But as they had done the day before, they put together an 8th inning rally, this time tallying 5 times.
The one strike to Trio. Line drive left field. Base hit. Here comes Avalos to score. Heading for third base is Unser. That ball's in the corner. Here comes Unser for the plate. He's going to score. He goes into third. Manny Trio to third with a 2-run triple. Phillies lead the game 7-5.
The Astros refused to quit, and they tied it up in the bottom of the 8th. After a scoreless 9th inning, this one would have to be resolved in extra innings for the 4th game in a row. In the 10th, pinch hitter Del Unser and center fielder Gary Maddox parlayed a pair of doubles into a run, and the Phillies were on top to stay.
Pitch on the way to Maddox. Line drive, center field, sinking, base hit. That ball's in play. Phillies lead. The ball gets Guy Poole. Maddox goes to second.
In the bottom of the 10th, Dick Ruthven, working out of the bullpen on this night, put down the Astros 1-2-3. And the Philadelphia Phillies were the National League champions.
The windup by Ruthven. The 3-2 pitch. Here's a punch shot to center field. Maddox racing over. He catches the ball. Phillies win the pennant. The Phillies have won the pennant. The Phillies win the ball game 8-7. They go to the World Series for the first time in 30 years.
We came a long way as a team this year, Richie. You know that as well as anybody. And it took every ounce of everything we had to win this playoff and actually to win our division as well. And I think we're so happy about this, going into the World Series for the first time in so many years. It's the biggest fun we're going to have is getting over these hangovers we're going to have tonight.
I'm very excited. This is the biggest thrill of my life, and like I said, I just want to thank my teammates, the Philadelphia organization, for making it possible for me to make my dream come true of getting a house for me and my family. I'm so excited. I don't know. I think I'm going to have a heart attack.
I was a little worried when they went ahead 3-2. I thought we could still come back, and then when they scored on the wild pitch, I went in and told Larry, really bear down, because 1 run down, we still got 2 at bats. Then they come up with Hal got another base hit, triple, we're driving another run, and 3 down at that time's difficult. 1's not that quite difficult. You got some guy to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but we came back with 5, and then I just couldn't believe they tied up into that. But Cruz is a tremendous hitter, and they got the base runners, and Poole had a great night. And we just didn't get the key guys out in the right situations, except the 9th inning.
I did a lot of praying on that field yesterday and today, and all of my prayers were answered, Harry. And I watched most of that game today. I was a lot of dead weight out there myself, and Manny Trio reached back and played the best game I've ever seen a second baseman play. The best game, bar none, I've ever seen a second baseman play.
It took every ounce of everything this team had. We did it. They said we couldn't beat them down here 2 games. Got down 3 runs and just 2-5 right at them. 13 years in the big leagues, and I loved every one of them, but not as much as this year. I feel so happy for these guys. I think these guys have buried some ghosts that have been following me around a long time. They've been following the 64 team a long time. The John Tight Pants Titus team in 1915. I think we laid them to rest.
So the Phillies were in the World Series for the first time since 1950, and only the 3rd time in their history. They would lock horns with the American League champion Kansas City Royals and attempt to win their first championship ever. Game 1 of the World Series was played at Veterans Stadium on Tuesday, October 14th. Because of having to go the full route in the playoffs, the Phillies' pitching situation was not in the best of shape. As a result, rookie Bob Walk would have to do the hurling against Kansas City's 20-game winner, Dennis Leonard. It's unusual to start a rookie in a World Series. So unusual that it had been 28 years since it had happened, when Joe Black towed the rubber for the Brooklyn Dodgers. But then again, this had been an unusual season for the Phillies. At the outset, things looked bleak for the Phils as Amos Otis and then Willie Aikens cracked 2-run homers to give the Royals a 4-0 lead. But in the 3rd, the Phillies came roaring back. It started with the bats of Larry Boa, Bob Boone, Lonnie Smith, and a fielding mix-up by the Royals' George Brett.
Dennis Leonard winds, and the 2-2 pitch to Boa. Swing, base hit center field. Boa has the Phillies' first hit of the World Series. To that point, Dennis Leonard had retired 7 Phils in a row. There goes Boa. The pitch to Boone, a called strike, throw to second. Not in time, stolen base, Larry Boa. The pitch to Boone. Swing, line drive, fair ball down the left field line, going to the corner. Boa rounding third, he'll score. Boone at second base with a double. Line drive, base hit left field. Bob Boone will stop at third base. Wilson's throw comes into Brett. Lonnie Smith stumbles, rounding first base. Smith now caught between first and second as Brett chases him down. Boone is going to try to score, and he does. Boone's safe at home. The tag at first base by Akins. Smith is out, but the Phillies trade him out for a run.
That made the score 4-2, but it also cleared the bases. However, the Phillies were far from through. First, Pete Rose was hit by a pitch, and then Mike Schmidt walked, bringing to the plate Bake McBride.
Pitch to Bake McBride. Fastball, swing and a long drive. Deep right field, way back. It is out of here. Home run, Bake McBride. Phillies have taken a 5-4 lead.
In the fourth, the Phils made it a 6-4 ball game. With a runner on third and 2 outs, Bob Boone, who already had 1 RBI for the night, plated another.
Leonard winds a 3-1 pitch to Boone. Swing and a drive to right field. It's in for extra bases. Brett Hurdle chasing. Trio scores. Boone on his way to second. He's there with a double. And Bob Boone has his second run batted into the ballgame.
Meanwhile, Bob Walk had settled down since being touched for the 2 home runs and was pitching good baseball.
Now the pitch to Akins. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Bob Walk has just put down the Royals in order here in the 5th. And Walk has retired 6 Kansas City batters in a row.
Walk finally weakened in the 8th when Willie Akins hit his second 2-run home run in the game to make it a 7-6 game. Out of the bullpen came the ubiquitous Tug McGraw to shut the door. And the Phillies had captured the first game of the 1980 World Series.
The 2-2 pitch to Willie Wilson.